Save the clock tower. Save the clock tower. Guess the movie. If you're a film nut, shut up and let me finish this bit. If you're a film nut, you might know. Leave a comment if you're a Criterion head. I know you want to give the answer, but that's the contest.
I honestly
You're
don't
gonna
know.
spoil it.
Yeah, I don't want to win the contest.
Like, Shawn's trying to spoil it. I don't know. I'm
I'm trying to spoil. I just sat here. I did nothing.
You might figure it out by the end.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Don't spoil. Save the clock tower, guys. It's from Back to the Future.
Oh, you know what? That should be a Criterion collection.
It should.
I've decided. Why not?
I think Universal. I think it's so beloved to them. They don't want any third party
Putting it out.
Like we don't need anyone else to get a cut.
Is it in
right?
the Library of Congress?
I think it is.
Ooh,
Right?
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. Yeah. I'm with
So-
you. Yeah. Okay.
We'll see.
There was a news story recently that Star Wars is in the Library of Congress, but it's like the original print.
Yeah. that's
Oh,
the one
okay.
you
You know, before they changed it,
Yeah.
and that they screened it recently, and they were like, oh, it's the first time that's been shown in 40-something years or 50 years. And I'm like, no, it's not. I watched it at the Academy 5 years ago.
Yeah.
They played it there with permission from George Lucas.
God, I bet they feel so dumb.
Yeah,
when you told them that.
Yeah, I sent the correction. And the response I got was, "Durr."
It said,
I imagine
guys.
they didn't respond, probably because it's so stupid.
Probably because you can't figure out how to work pen and paper.
Anyway, I'm waiting. I'm extending this bit because we've started this episode 3 times and we've been interrupted every time.
I
So
don't,
this is like
want to
the 8th
critique
time we've
you,
done this.
but your Save the Clock Tower was much more animated the first 2 attempts, and the third one
because
was
my
kind of
my soul is leaving.
yeah,
my body.
it was a little iffy.
But that's okay because my spark. I said spark. It was part spark and part fart. My spark was reignited. The fan in me was reignited this last week when we went to Universal FanFest Nights. What is Universal FanFest Nights? A lot of people didn't know.
No, they purposely. I've read that they purposely kind of kept it vague of what exactly is at Universal Fan Fest.
Why would they do that?
They showed the this stuff behind us. They had big billboards come see Fan Fest, but they didn't really explain a ton about what it was. Come live in Hill Valley or anything like that. For some reason, they kept it kind of.
What I heard was that they wanted the event to speak for itself.
Yes, that
was it creates a more organic marketing as opposed to, and it seems like this has been Universal's MO lately. It seems like Universal lately has realized, hey, under promise, because then when people experience these things, they're blown away.
Yeah.
If you look at what Disney did with stuff like Galaxy's Edge, and I'm saying this as I'm a fan of Galaxy's Edge, but what we heard about 7 years ago is, whatever, about that long ago, maybe, or maybe even longer.
Yeah.
They hyped up something it could never have lived up to. And they even mentioned, you'll be able to barter with local shopkeepers and your reputation follows you around the land and a bounty hunter will follow you around. None of that happened.
It was just barcodes you could scan.
People had this thing in their mind that it could never, Universal's been taking the opposite route. Hey, what's this construction zone?
We're not
talking about that. There's something's been under construction for 2 years. Yeah, we're still not saying what it is.
They cleared space and started building Super Nintendo World without announcing it.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
they straight
crazy.
up went vertical.
Yeah.
And they did not announce that it was coming yet.
Yeah.
They just do the opposite of Disney and we're like, okay, we're just gonna start building this, and then once it heats up, we're like, okay, yeah, it's Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
Is that the term? Building something is going vertical?
Yeah.
When you start to see things go up.
When you start seeing steel go up.
You're getting past the blueprint stage now. Where it's going vertical.
Yep.
I haven't heard
we start seeing building
that.
and steel going up.
Yeah. So I think that tactic seems to be working out for them.
Yes, I do too.
Because things just show up and people are like stoked. Oh, we're getting that? And this, I think, plays into that strategy. Universal FanFest Nights, when the stuff first came out for it, it was like, okay, I'm seeing the logo. This is an after-hours event, and I'm seeing the logo for Back to the Future, logo for One Piece, logo for Dungeons and Dragons, Star Trek. So these are all after-hours nights that they're doing, like a Star Trek night, or that's something Disney has done. Oh, Star Wars night.
Here's like a Sweetheart night and all that kind of stuff.
But then we find out, no, this is all one event. all these things are at this one event. And it's like, okay, what? And then it gets closer, and what we find it out to be is it's kind of like Halloween Horror Nights or you know, an event like that, except it's not scary. It's mazes, you know, you're going to go through a Star Trek experience. You're going to go
Fun
through
mazes.
It's fun instead of scares.
It's a funny scare.
It's a funny scare. Yeah.
But what no one was ready for what it actually was is that, the Back to the Future thing, they're just going to take you to the set of the movie, which is still there. The courthouse square, it's all still there.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it up like it's 1955. And, you know, I mean, no one knew what any of this stuff was going to be. Oh, with Star Trek, they built the sets and you can go into that. Oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool. So everyone kind of found out about this organically as it happened. And once it started going, it sounded awesome. So we determined we had to go to this.
Yeah, it was a rare thing where Rocco was like, "Hey, I need you to come to this.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that this is made for you. Don't look into what it is. Just trust me that you'll like this." And so I just kind of went in like, I knew Back to the Future was involved, and that's pretty much it. I knew nothing else.
And that's the reason you're here, really, and why you were there, too, is that's your favorite movie.
My favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future.
Yes.
By a lot, actually. I was thinking about this. Like, everything about this movie, I love. I love this movie.
I actually watched it just the other day.
Oh, you did?
Because
Before
we
or
went
after?
After. Just because we went all this, it got all hyped on the Back to the Future.
I've been
vibe.
like jazzed to do that,
so
too.
I watched the first one.
Yeah.
How was it watching it now that we've been on the set?
It was awesome, but it's so funny how I never realized how jarring when you don't realize the real world to the Hill Valley set is in the movie, because he's behind that truck and he like takes off in front of the Burger King from like Doc Brown's 70s, and then it immediately goes to the courthouse square. But in my head, I'm like, oh, that's a set. 100%. And I never noticed that when I was like, you can't if you're not thinking about that. But when you are thinking about that, you can just see him going like normal streets to like straight up backlot.
I mean, the goal of the movie is to be seamless like that.
And it is seamless if you're not like looking at it specifically.
Yeah, now we're obsessed with that.
We've seen it.
There.
I've been there. I've done that. So it's like, oh, this is exactly where like this is not a normal LA street.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, we knew it was. We had heard that you could visit that set.
Yes.
And something was happening there. So yeah, Shawn,
we kind of like decided to go to this way last minute. It was like days before it was going to end.
Yeah.
It's been going on for like a month or so.
Yeah, we were in Boston, I think, when it was like, all right, we're going to go. For PAX East. So it was a total it was a crazy week, because like a week before that we were at the Red Sox game at Fenway Park, and then that was cool. But then like within the next week we were in Hill Valley. It's like, how did this happen? Like, how did we get here? Yeah, but I knew, I trust Rocco, and he said like, this is like gonna be your shit, and it totally was.
Yeah, 100%.
Do we cuss on this show? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Oh God.
Yeah. I don't do it like every word.
No, because sometimes we're in theme parks.
Sorry. I will try. This is my first time.
When we recorded in a theme park, we still will, but then it's like.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking around.
I'm just. I know it's a different audience. I don't want to shock any moms out there.
Shock and awe.
So sorry.
But anyway, no. So yeah, we had to go. The stuff I was hearing about Back to the Future was like, Shawn, you got to go. We have to go. And let me just say, what else sweetened the deal? To be real, is frankly the price.
Yes.
This thing was $70, and found out it was even cheaper with my annual pass than that. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, in comparison, Disney's after hours events, where they just do like photo ops. Hey, you want to meet an Ewok? These events are $170. Yeah. So, I mean, just looking at it on paper was like, oh my God. This is showing Disney's ass.
Yes.
It really is. Like, you cannot compare. Now, there were photo ops here, too.
At the FanFest, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the only thing. And I don't know how Disneyland works, but the rides were open. You could go on the rides.
Disney's are too.
Disney's are too.
Okay.
So truthfully, if you don't get to go to the parks very often, and you don't have a pass, whatever, and you go to one of these after hours events, it's $170. But it is, all the rides are open. I mean, it is a neat way to go to the park. So I'm not saying it has no value, but Universal had all that and so much more, and it was less than half Yeah, less than half the price, right? I can't do math.
Dude, it was insane.
That's less than half.
It's too early to do math. But yeah, so all of that together was just like, oh, no, we have to go to this. This is not a question. Anyway, so I think they did a fantastic job. The effort was amazing. There's some things in between the cracks that I think are a little bit like, oh, why did they do that? That are kind of weird. Yeah. I guess we'll cover.
But it's also the first year. So
yeah, it's the first time they've ever done it.
They're testing stuff out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And they'll see what works and what doesn't and fix it for next year. Hopefully they do it next year.
Yeah, no critiques that I have are like, this made it worse or this was bad.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing I could say that is critical in a way that like it maybe hurt the event, I would say, is like there were just a couple things because it was a new event. It felt like no one was kind of sure what to do. You know, a couple of those things where it was like, ooh, that could have been clearer. Maybe the employees could have been stationed here, or another sign would have helped here. You know, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, for a first-year event, this was pretty amazing.
It was an awesome night for us.
It was an awesome. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
And again, walking into this completely blind. This is my third time ever going to Universal ever.
Oh wow,
ever. And then I mean, I don't count the one in Florida. I went to that one as a kid. I went to Nickelodeon Studios.
I know,
y'all. Like I'm so lucky. Yeah,
So
yeah.
jealous.
I saw them film the show 15 live.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Fuck.
And I'm pretty sure Ryan Gosling's in that show. I don't know. Is he?
no, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds in that show. So
you got to see Deadpool a little early.
Yeah, a little bit early.
Deadpool
There's a
come
sneak
early.
peek at Deadpool.
Nice.
But I had the tram tour I've done. I have never driven past.
Yeah, every tram tour you've ever gone
Back to
on
the Future
has
set.
skipped out because you never really know with the tram tour what you're going to get.
Which I do like about that, actually.
Yeah.
That is kind of neat.
Sometimes you go to areas that you never go to, and sometimes you go to brand new. But you've never been to Hill Valley
never seen
or
it.
Courthouse Square.
Yeah, so just to knowing that we were even going to drive past it, it was worth the price of admission just for me. It was like, well, I just want to see this, and the fact that I could get out is another level.
And it really can't be understated, like or overstated. I don't know what the term is, but it can't be said enough though that there isn't anything in the world like this where it's a functioning studio as well as a theme park. Yeah. And it was like I went as a kid in the late 90s. And it was, oh, everyone be quiet. I think it went through that set. And it was, oh, everyone be quiet. They're shooting X-Files. And that was, as a kid, that was like, they're making that here?
Right here?
I mean,
right now?
We had to be quiet on the way back.
Yeah, because they're working on the Burbs TV show.
Yeah.
And because they're filming at night, we drove by and it was like, oh, you got to be quiet. We can't do anything right here. So that was cool.
Yeah. So that was really neat. But just the whole, like, I thought that once you got into like the mode to go to the Back to the Future world, there was the woman out there with the coin jar.
Before you even get to Hill Valley, she's down at the thing going like, save the clock tower, and passing these out.
And passing out these flyers.
They actually gave us the flyers,
And, you know, it's the dumb little details, but like, oh, that's the same color as the one in the movie.
They made
they
made it identical.
Nailed it.
Like, it was just like, that, like once you got that, it was like, oh, this is going to be, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then you got on the tram and the music starts playing and it's like, oh, wow. Like, this is going to be like special. Like,
and they do write a little storyline to explain how you're going back to 1955.
So
and it's super funny because it's just Doc Brown. Well, the actor an actor playing Doc Brown. It's just going like, well, we can't get this thing up to 88 miles an hour. We don't like,
but don't worry.
Don't worry. I figured it out. I figured out how to do it. And it's just plays something like, okay, you're currently going back in time.
It's just happening. There's no
like,
lights are flashing
right now.
but it is happening.
Yeah. I will say this is not a complaint at all.
Yeah.
If I was running the event, I think the only thing I would nitpick here, at one point on the tram tour, they're just bussing you backstage to get you to the set. And they just keep on the TV going, oh, you're going to, wow, you're in 1955 now. You just passed through. You're going to time travel so fast you don't even notice it. And it's just to explain what's happening, try to give a story
reason. You're going 6 miles an hour right now.
Yeah. But if I was running it, I would have had one part where there was an effect where maybe even if you go through like a tent or something, they project something where it's whoosh, 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 whoosh. Okay, you've gone
just
through.
Build a temporary thing.
That's what I would have done, but that's being nitpicky.
And you could even Jungle Cruise that where the guy could be like, whoa, that looked real.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Wow,
like,
guys, we really just time traveled.
That was we're actually back in 1955.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I would have done. Whatever. All of that is forgiven because once the tram stopped, they were like, okay, it stops outside the set, and they kind of just decorate the path to it with the Lion Estate, the neighborhood.
Sign.
There's like the signs as if they're building that neighborhood, and there's a billboard about the new development and all that stuff. You've seen it in the movie, and I'm telling you, we got out of that tram, and they not only lit the whole way there with all those things, but also they score the moment where when you get out, you start to hear diddle diddle.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. You're starting to hear those notes come in, and my hair was standing up.
Mine was.
I was going.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the biggest sucker for Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It could have just been that moment, and I would have still felt like it was worth it. Like,
Yeah,
that was really
like,
cool.
Yo, this event rules.
Before I even went around the corner to see what they had in store for me, I'm like, this is so awesome,
dude. And so you walk past those things, and then you turn the corner into the Courthouse Square set, and life is just happening. There's a gas station with 50s cars pulled up. Over here is Biff is harassing George McFly. I'm like, wait, what?
Giving him like a noogie on the head and stuff.
Yeah, and then that stops, and then attention, Hill Valley High class of 55. The Enchantment Under the Sea dance is starting now. And then they've got a full band
wearing the same suits.
And these guys are playing. They're playing the music live on stage. And it's just like, oh my God, we're in Hill Valley 1955.
It's super immersive.
Did it perfectly.
It was almost too much to take in. And Rocco, you made the point, and this is true, no other theme park, not even Universal Florida, could do this.
Yeah.
Like, because I am physically on the set where they shot the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where else could you do? I guess maybe like Lord of the Rings could do that in New Zealand or something.
Yeah,
but like,
maybe they could.
But like,
sure.
But this was like, oh, I'm like here and I'm just living it. But was so amazing to me was they were recreating the movie scene for scene. But to the point where if you know the movie, you go, well, right now that's happening, so we got to go over there because we're going to see the next scene.
Yeah, that's the next part.
And like you just knew where to go because it's like, well, I know what's coming up next. It was crazy.
Even if the big tentpole event was happening, they're doing the dance right now. Everyone is gathered around because the Enchantment Under the Sea dance is happening, and Marty's on stage. He's about to do Johnny Be Good. Everyone's gathered to see that, but then it's like, I wonder if Doc is at the clock tower, like trying to rig up the lightning thing.
Yep.
And you'd go over there.
And
sure enough,
he was
over
there.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, these calculations aren't adding up. I don't know how to harness the lightning. And it's like, I knew he would be here.
Yeah.
Because you know the story.
Yep.
I mean, it was a living, breathing movie.
It was like they put you there in real life. Even like when Biff gets knocked out.
Yeah.
He's laying on the other side of the car. And people are like laughing at him and like whatever, and like his friends trying to help him up, and he just can't get up, and he just keeps laying there. Like he's there for like 10 minutes. It's like, oh, it's like this is just you could just stay here and watch this one part if you wanted to.
Yeah.
From what I understood too, and we never saw this, I don't think, but people found him like when all the clock tower shit is happening. You can actually find Biff like behind a trash can, like sulking, like
he's just like
pissed
off.
I got clowned on so bad.
Yeah, clobbered.
Yeah.
You know that you could actually still find him. I've heard that you could also if you timed it just perfectly. Some people, and it was rare, but you could time it just right where your tour thing showed up right when the story loop began.
Oh,
because again, for those at home, there was about probably it was like the movie done in an hour. They would have about an hour's worth of story playing out at any given point throughout Courthouse Square.
We loop around over and over.
Yeah, 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
If you timed it just right, that you could make it where that loop started right when you arrived. And they said if you did that, you would see the Marty actor enter at the billboard. Where he would be like, where did you guys come from?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm here. You know, I'm like that. You could time it and actually see his reaction to entering there. It would be he would go with you and be like, oh, this is not 1985. Like, oh no. Like, you know, you get that kind of moment with him.
Yeah.
It really did. When I would read other people's thing, it was like, I do wish I could have gone to this like a bunch. Like that would have been cool. Like if they do this same thing next year, there was a pass you could get that was, I don't know how much it was, but you could go any night.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, if they do the Back to the Future thing again, I
Yeah.
might do that next time. I'm not sure. But regardless, so fun to see this all play out. Everybody got to what really blew me away too is that when these moments would happen, of course you'd get a big crowd. And it was like that at the I'm gonna make some comparisons in a minute to the Star Wars hotel.
Yes.
We talked about that before. But when these big story moments happen, people will crowd around it. And you always have a moment of like, oh, there's like I'm trying to see this moment play out, but 100 people are gathered around with their phone and all that stuff. But yet with that happening, I still felt like they found a way to where everyone got personal time with these guys too. Like, okay, the big story moment, everyone's gathered around, but then they would break away and they would find, Doc Brown would find Shawn. Excuse me, sir. Do you happen to know if there's a ladder nearby or there's someone that like, I don't know. That's,
It was so, I was just standing there like the enchantment in the CDS is happening. I'm just looking at the clock tower, just like in awe of where I was. Like, I'm here. This is amazing. And then all of a sudden I hear next to me, oh, this is not good. And he's like right here. I'm like, and I just go, you doing all right? And he just goes into this whole pitch like, well, I'm not really because I need to get this to 88 and the lightning and how do I conduct it? What would you use to conduct it? I'm like, I don't know, probably a hook. Just like trying to like,
if there was a hook and a wire here, a hook and a wire. Yes. Oh yeah. But how do I get up there? I mean, there's, we could stack a bunch of people up, maybe hoist me up there. And I just start going, dude, that's like a bad idea. It's like a bad idea. Yes, of course. Wind with being a factor, none of us would make it. And someone's like, why don't you just break in and like go up the stairs? Breaking and entering. I suppose if it's going to save the space-time continuum from he's working it out.
Yeah.
And like, he's really writing things down.
Yeah.
And
He's
again,
taking notes.
And he's going to everyone.
Yeah.
It wasn't, the crowd would take up a lot of space, but they would always find a way to work through. At some point I feel like I talked to everyone and I wasn't trying that hard.
No. And that's the thing is like, he found me, as you said, which was so cool just to be like there and then see like that play out.
Yeah.
And I would say that, we are benefited by being in LA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their actors were pretty good.
They were all
Everyone they
top-notch
cast
actors.
was legit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, this is a great Marty McFly.
Yeah.
They
did a great job.
Yeah. It really was like, maybe they didn't look exactly like the people, but it was.
The vibe was there.
The vibe
But
worked.
what I will say, and this is a testament to the character and the actors or whatever, is that there were a ton of cosplayers. There was a ton of Marty cosplayers, a ton of Doc cosplayers at this event because everyone's excited. But you knew who the real people were.
Yes.
Which is like, maybe you wouldn't.
That's difficult.
But like I knew that guy is the actual guy paid to be Marty. And you could just tell just by how they looked.
The only time I would say in the night, I'll just say speak for myself, but the only time in the whole night that I actually had a difficult moment with, whoa, okay, a cosplay. I thought this cosplayer was part of the show. Was actually at the Star Trek thing. There was a guy in perfect, like
it was really good.
The perfect Picard outfit, and I was like waiting for him to do something, and then he pulled out his phone, like, what's going to happen here? And I was like, oh, you're not part of. Okay,
Picard's on this phone.
His costume was too good.
That's the only moment I had.
I saw that guy too.
But the Back to the Future thing never had that trouble either. Now again, so much fun. We all got to interact. They did a fantastic job. I'm going to say it reminded me to bring up Star Wars Hotel, the Galactic Star Cruiser. It reminded me of that where where we were in the what do they call the main room? This is the classic, the atrium.
Atrium, yeah.
Where we're in the atrium and you're just hanging around and the smuggler guy. I wonder if he's doing something. Let me talk to him.
You just talk.
The advantage, almost unfair advantage Universal has here is that, again, like you mentioned, you're on the fucking original set.
Right.
Okay, the Star Wars Hotel was really cool and a lot of fun, but like, what are they going to bus you to Tunisia where they shot the Skywalker home?
Nope.
That they can't do that. So they got that unfair advantage. But in addition to that, I'll say, like, the Star Wars Hotel, yeah, it's in the Star Wars universe, but it's not like we were hanging out with beloved characters.
Right.
They were original characters.
Yeah,
They were characters made up to fit in this part of the universe. Like, oh, we're aboard this fancy hotel of a starship, you know. And don't get me wrong, that it was just as fun. Back to the Future, you're hanging out with, it's Marty McFly.
You're
it's
like with beloved characters that you grew up with.
Who are recreating the scenes that you've seen 1,000 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Doing a story that you know. When we were on the Galactic Star Cruiser, you don't know what the story is.
No.
Okay, they're telling me to go get coaxium. Okay, that's not from a movie. And again, super fun. We had a great time.
It was one of the funnest things I've ever done.
But I would argue, would it have been more effective if it was, the storyline of Empire Strikes Back is playing out? I don't know. I think I had just as much fun if it would have been, either way.
Story.
I think that part is kind of irrelevant. It's kind of like, an original thing or not is fun either way. But it really exposes either way. I do think this is going to sound bold. When I was at that Star Wars hotel, as goofy as a lot of it was, and some of it was, out of the way, of course, the price of it was always a no-go completely.
Yeah.
That was a non-starter from the beginning. Just the way it was all executed in the surrounding part of it, the cost to get there, the difficulty of getting it done, whatever. It was like doomed to fail. It was going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
The Universal thing in comparison was so easy. But regardless, I remember being at that Star Wars hotel, and I remember thinking, even though a lot of this was stupid, part of me feels like this is the future of theme parks. Like it felt like
immersive theater kind of thing.
It felt like this just feels like nothing that has ever been done. Mm-hmm. That aspect was amazing. And I felt that again being at that Back to the Future thing. I'm like, people want to be in the world of the story they love.
Yes.
And I think this proved, no, it works. This can be done.
Mm-hmm.
Universal proved that it can be done without a fucking $6,000.
Like a $65 thing.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, $60 to $70 ticket, and we're in this world, and it's like, oh my God, I want to stay here. Like, it can be done. And they proved it. It can be done. Mm-hmm. And it just, to me, showed that, like, I think there's a future in that. Maybe it would be smart for the people who run the Hobbiton thing in New Zealand, like you mentioned.
To do that, yeah.
Imagine if, you could stay there and wake up in the Shire, and there's a whole story. Hey, everyone gather around. We had a strange visit last night. The wizard Gandalf told us that someone might be looking for something. Does anybody? And maybe the night before they gave one person the ring.
Yeah.
Right.
Does anyone here have a ring? And it's up to them to say if they do or not.
Yeah.
And it changes you know what I mean? Like, people will do this.
Oh, yeah.
People
or even
want
like
to do this.
you're in the Shire and there's Gandalf is setting up the fireworks. There's a fireworks show.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm here. Let's do
I'm
it.
just like,
Let's have Bilbo's 111th birthday.
I'll drink a beer and do that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Kevin, I do not drink that often.
Yeah.
Rarely. But I'm in the Shire. We're in the Green Dragon. I'm like, well, I'm having an ale.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm not drinking
forgot.
beer here.
Yeah.
Like, I have
Gandalf
to.
sat next to me and said, smoke pipe weed.
I'm doing it.
I'm token up. I'm going like,
I'm token up.
Gandalf passed the joint, dude. Yeah. Let's go. Let's see the fireworks, dude. Let's fizzy crackers or whatever they call them. Pop whiz pops or whatever.
Pop and weasels. Yep, exactly.
Anyway, but for real, it proved to me, the idea that the Imagineering team with the Star Wars Hotel, the idea they were onto was ahead of its time. That was genius. It was business that ruined it, I think.
Yeah.
It was untenable. It was, you couldn't do it. But this to me is like, no, they were onto something, because here's the second thing I've seen like this, and this is unlike anything. Like, I just think, and it plays it, like, people get fed up with the real world, dude. Hey, I'm going to, for the night, I'm going to be Back to the Future. Hell yeah.
No, 100%. And also I love that you could buy a Hill Valley High sweatshirt or sweater there.
Yeah, they had in-universe stuff.
I think you could only buy it there. I looked in the other parts of the theme park. I didn't see them selling it. Maybe I just missed it.
Yeah,
but that one particular item, I think you could only get on the actual set in 1955.
They had like the vest.
Yeah,
from Marty McFly's vest when he arrives and everything like that.
Yeah, they had that, but you could buy that anywhere. But I think that Hill Valley, I mean, maybe I missed it. I think that one piece was like, oh, you have to get that there. Which is such a neat, like, you can get that 1955 and that's it.
Yeah.
You can't get it anywhere else. Like, that's a fun thing. Now, what I was going to say was the attention to detail and love that they put into this was really extraordinary, to the point where at all times there was the flaming streaks.
Yeah, the skid marks.
Yeah.
Skid marks.
Yeah.
But, okay, that's cool. But it got 10 times cooler with right in front was the license plate spinning around like it does in the movie.
Just constantly spinning.
Just constantly spinning.
Amazing.
That is like, oh, not only did you do this, but you put the love that I would have hoped. If I would have made this, I would have done that. Like
It
you
would
did
have been like, hey,
And-
we got to make that spin.
yeah,
And that was set up right where they shot it.
yes,
Like
yes.
literally
In the
that-
spot they filmed it.
I know. That was right there where they filmed that shot.
You're right, because you know what? Like I had, and we can get this later, a blast at the Star Trek thing. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was not the same.
No,
you can't. If they took me to the stage where they filmed Next Generation, maybe.
Yeah.
But this was like, you can't recreate this. Like this is like one place can do this.
Yeah, the Back to the Future thing was definitely the crown jewel of this event.
Yeah.
For
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Like I said, almost unfairly so.
Yeah.
They got that on a silver platter.
And they didn't-
that the set was still there.
And they didn't limit you at all. You could
No.
just go. You could go there when it opens at 7 and spend your whole night there if you want,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
skip everything else
And
if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That was gonna. Sorry, I interrupted you, Rocco.
No.
But I was gonna bring up because the Star Trek thing. At one point, I wanted to get a picture, and they were like, "You got to go," and they were escorting
Yeah.
you out.
Yeah.
They're like,
But Back to the Future, you're right. It was just
You're
like
just
you
free
are
to
here.
roam,
Welcome to Hill Valley.
and
do
you'll
what
get
you
different
want.
experiences and stuff like that.
The Star Trek thing, we'll talk more in a second, I'm sure, about that. The Star Trek thing was, set up like a maze,
Yeah.
like the Halloween
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But again, not scary. But they had a story that would quickly move you from thing to thing. I understand they do need to move you on from thing to thing, but I do think they could have gone about it different. Instead of no, bad things are happening. Get out. It's like, I really would just like a picture. I do think it would have benefited that to be more like just here's a chill tour. I think
check
anybody
out
who's
the
into Star
bridge.
Trek would have appreciated the ASMR vibes of just a chill
Yeah.
tour.
Truthfully, I got the story. I was laughing at it. I mean, I was laughing the whole time, and I loved it. Like, not to say that I don't want to talk.
I still enjoyed it.
It was goofy bullshit.
I'm not
but I liked it a lot.
talking like I'm going to talk some trash right now, but just know that I
Yeah.
really thoroughly loved this thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
But if it was just as you said, the ship, you could walk through it, and it was just the sounds of the starship that you hear on the show. Like
Yes, agreed.
It would be like, I could live here.
Yes.
I just want to live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would have benefited. I think the storyline they added, I guess we could just get into this,
Yeah.
the Star Trek thing. You go and it's like you are entering the Los Angeles Museum for the space-time space
Starfleet Academy.
Starfleet Academy.
I gotcha.
And it's a museum, and they're like, hey, we actually have the Enterprise D here, and this formerly was piloted by Captain Jean-Luc Picard back in the day, but you can go on it, and we're going to show you the bridge, we're going to show you all that stuff. And then out of nowhere, they bust out this thing like, oh no, a weird life form showed up outside the ship. Move.
Yeah.
And it just kind of feels arbitrarily like everyone's panicked.
Yeah.
And that's
red
not-
alert. Oh, we got a coolant leak in engineering.
We're fucked.
Which, if you know anything about Star Trek, we would have been dead.
We went in not knowing like anything about that Star Trek thing.
Yes.
And I think it was awesome that it was Next Generation because that's your favorite.
Could not agree more, Kevin. Because
I think they knew.
I was excited to
totally.
do the Star Trek thing, but I thought it was like, because I kept seeing the symbol for it, like the new Discovery, which I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know that's the new symbol. But when it's like, oh, we're gonna check out the Enterprise D, I was like, what? Like, which one?
Your eyes lit up.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, so I just think it would have benefited them to chill. This one didn't need to have a terror aspect to it.
No.
I think that's doing actually Star Trek a little bit dirty. Like it's okay. You could just have this be a chill one. Like people would have been stoked.
Yeah. Also, they said this is the museum where you can check out the ship.
Yeah.
You've already set up the premise.
You sold me.
Yeah.
That like I can check out the ship. That's all I really want to do. I'm
Yeah.
at a museum.
Yeah.
And just have those people in it. Just talking to you about like,
Yeah.
so where are you from? All that kind of stuff.
Or not only that, but it's like, yeah, this is where Geordie LaForge does this with engineering and Data works, right? Whatever.
Here's the bathroom.
And I understand they would have, they want to make it exciting. I get that. Star Trek, the concept is already exciting, and it's one of the rare concepts that like a little peacefulness actually would go a long way. There was a Dungeons and Dragons walkthrough we'll talk about, but that had a panic aspect to it too. Oh, we've got to stop this. There's a wizard with a dragon or whatever. We got to go. Oh, and we got to go in here. So that one can have that, and I think that worked for that. But let's have some contrast. Star Trek didn't need it.
Yeah.
That should have just been, come in here. This is our sick bay. Oh, wait. Oh, someone's sick. You could put funny things in each scene. Oh, this guy, he's got trouble.
Chronic diarrhea over here.
Yeah, this guy's shit himself so many times.
But if I would to design this, is what we just said.
Yeah.
But I would have people walking around and just doing their jobs in character. They don't need to even talk to me. I would have a guy being Worf going to his little station and then walking away, and not even speaking to me. Maybe just like he's just doing about his day,
liven up the area.
He's just here working, and I just happen to see it happen. Or whatever it may be. I think that would be kind of cooler than having to go through like, well, don't worry, this life form actually it's safe, and we just made a new discovery. It's like, okay,
yeah. Didn't need it.
That ending was like, we made first contact, and it's like that was so weird.
And it's like, ooh.
He said that, and I pointed. I was like, Shawn. Do you hear that? First contact.
It's like the movie.
It's like the movie. But anyway, but it was still a lot of fun. It was still.
It
cool.
was super.
Oh
super
no!
fun.
I mean, I was in heaven, and after doing the Back to the Future thing, I was already on cloud 9. Like I didn't know we could get more excited, and then I got to it was like, oh man, these two things, Next Generation and Back to the Future. If I could go back and show 12-year-old Shawn, what I'm about to go through, I lose my mind.
Yeah. So there was that walkthrough. Then we did Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
That I started to get. This is where I was kind of worried because we went. It was like, oh, it's on the lower lot. So we went down there, and again, they had the queue set up, and it was miles of railing, and it was walk-in. There was a football field worth of queue that no one was using.
Which everything we did was no line, which is not a complaint in the slightest.
No, I was happy.
Did get me worried. Like, are they ever going to do this again?
I just want them to do this again, so I want it to be popular.
But also, I don't want to wait in line, so this is fine.
But I think they want word of mouth. I think is so good.
Yeah,
about this.
It's fantastic.
I've heard nothing but glowing things that I think that if they do next year, a lot more people are going to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Apparently, the last night it was pretty packed.
Okay.
So people made time.
I think it ended last night.
It did literally
Sunday.
last night. Yeah. I heard Hill Valley was swamped last night.
Yeah.
See, that'd be lucky.
We went on the one random Thursday date.
It was the only Thursday they did, and it was perfect.
You guys nailed that because I was like, I'm more free on Saturday than Thursday. Like, I think we should do Thursday, and we made that work. And thank God, because it was empty.
Yeah, it was super chill.
Anyway, so we did the Dungeons and Dragons thing. I don't know a ton about D&D.
Me neither.
Not my expertise. I would say it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was another.
And the characters were good. The acting was good. It was entertaining to go through.
Yeah,
but I didn't connect with it.
I'm laughing the whole time.
Yeah,
again,
totally.
not attached, but it was just But see, I don't know D&D well enough to think that were those people characters that people know, or were these sets?
I think it's kind of general.
I'm
all
this
made
type
up,
right?
Yeah.
I'm a wizard.
And they broke everyone into teams. It was like, all right, you're wizard,
archer,
you're a warrior, you're whatever. And they asked me to touch the crystal ball. They were like, wizard with the glasses, touch the crystal ball. And I was like, oh, Palantir. Oh, different universe. Okay. And I touched it. And then they spoke and whatever. And they warned us of this demon or whatever. What was his name? Gobbledygook or whatever.
Gobbledygook.
I don't remember the name.
Sigur Rós. Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then the tent we were in they projected a dragon on it. Like a dragon was outside breathing fire. It's like, oh, we got to go. So we're going through a forest. We're going through, I
really liked that all the exits to the room were kind of hidden. Because you'd go to a room, you're like, I don't know where the exit is to this room.
Yeah.
And the storyline would be like, oh, this wall opens, or we found this secret entrance, and then they would do that. And it was cool going into a room of just oh, this is just a room. There's not a trail going through a normal scare thing. And I thought that was just really cool. It's like, okay, well, I don't know where we're going next.
Yeah.
And I'll watch this play out. And one room was a puzzle.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
And then kind of the climax of it is you go into that demon's lair.
Yes.
And look, the sword that we need. And he goes to take it. And then all of a sudden the wall drops out from the corner and that demon is in the room. And it's a gigantic puppet.
It was huge.
And I say puppet because apparently it wasn't an animatronic.
Really?
People are puppeting it.
Oh,
people are
serious?
in there like
There's a crew. It was made by Jim Henson Company.
Yeah.
What?
And
it did look so good. I wondered how they would be able to do that.
Yeah.
And it was so big. I was like, how's that? Oh, wow.
It was a giant puppet.
Legit.
Yeah.
That to me made it worth going just to see that.
I guess that's way cheaper than an animatronic.
Yeah.
And it won't break.
All the gear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Having people in there. I don't know if it's one person or multiple.
That got to be more than one. That was huge.
Yeah. It's definitely huge.
That must be the hottest job. You must be
Yo,
sweating in there. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was extremely impressive. And then you go out into the forest and you fought some evil witch queen or something like that.
She gets zapped by the other characters that you were with. And
yeah, but it was cute. It was fun. Especially if you're into D&D, I'm sure it was even better.
So much fun just throughout. Like I just had a great time throughout that whole maze area. What do you call it? Like a maze or a trail?
Yeah.
Walk through experience.
It's like a haunted trail, but not haunted. So it's just trail. The trail we went through. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Now you guys did. Well, we should talk about before you got there, Shawn.
Yes.
We wanted to do the thing in Nintendo.
Oh, right.
Because we were like, okay, Nintendo didn't really get like a super unique experience like any of those things.
No.
We heard that there was just like a scavenger hunt kind of thing. So it's like, okay, I don't think Shawn's gonna care about this. So we'll tackle this while we're waiting for Shawn to show up. And we got there. This is the only thing I'll be kind of really critical of is I don't know if you thought I was, Kevin, you can give me an honest critique.
Okay.
But I was like fed up the moment we walked in.
As soon as you walked in, you were angry.
I was angry.
Why?
Because there was no direction anywhere.
Oh, that's true.
When we got into Nintendo World, it was like, okay, there's a scavenger hunt. What do we do? Oh, here's a crown you could get, and we'll put egg stickers around it. Yeah. And if you get them all, we give you a Yoshi medallion.
And then you can go to this other area.
To a secret area. Okay, and I think it's just a photo op. And I don't really care about photo ops. But I wanted to check it out. I wanted to see what the whole event was about. But it was like, where do we go? Find the eggs.
There's one.
Okay, there's one.
I'm not the person.
I'm not the person you tell. Okay. Who do I tell? There'll be someone nearby. Okay. Who? There'll be someone nearby. Okay.
And then we get in a line to it's like, oh, there's a line. There's somebody there.
Yeah.
And we get in a line and like, okay, we found an egg over there. That's not my egg.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
What are you? I'm for the red egg. You found the green egg. Okay.
Where's the green egg? You tell me.
Yeah. Well, you got to.
I just waited in line.
Can I? I waited in line. Can you just give me the sticker? If you could tell me where the red egg is. I don't know. Well, you can't see it from where you're standing.
Ask people behind you.
Okay. Yeah. I guess and I think I said something snippy here. I was like, I guess I'll leave and do this all over again. All right. It was just, there was kind of no direction.
Yeah.
So I was getting fed up. I was having a good time, but I was also like, I kind of knew the score. I was like, this is the first time event and it hasn't been, the bugs haven't been worked out. So anyway, so I'm walking around like, I don't know who I talk. Eventually we did figure it out. Okay, it's awkward, but there is someone for each egg. Yeah. And it was just like, I was just talking to other people at that point. Yeah. Are you here for the green egg? Yeah. Okay, great. Okay.
And we found all the eggs, got all the stickers, and then we went up to get the medallion.
Yes, and they gave you the gold medallion. Yeah. And then it's basically out in the area. They went all in on Yoshi for the event. They don't normally have Yoshi stuff in Super Mario World. But when you got into the land, even without doing the hunt, you could just take a picture with a green Yoshi.
Yeah.
Any normie off the street could meet green Yoshi. But if you wanted to meet pink or blue Yoshi,
Oh, there was a pink option?
You got to do the hunt. Oh. And so we did. And we got the gold medallion. All right, your reward is in here. A long line to meet.
It was a long line for the meet and greet of the The blue Yoshi.
And I know some people that did it. It was fine for us. It didn't take that long.
It didn't take that long.
It timed out perfect that we were done like when you showed up.
Yeah, because I showed up and then you were doing this, and Kevin sounded fucked up, but you were like, I think I can get you this place. I don't know. We had eggs.
I didn't know because you were just showing up and we had already gotten all the things, and I'm like, I think I can try to get you into to get you into this area.
But I was like, hey man, I'm just gonna ride the ride.
And that worked out.
Yeah.
You do your thing. I'll meet you back.
And that's the thing is like during this event, the Mario Kart ride, which is always slammed, was a 10-minute wait.
Yeah. I've never seen it 10 minutes.
I was in single rider, but I walked to the front of the line and they said, all right, row 8. Like I didn't stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only time I stopped was when the ride broke down right when I got there, which that was a bummer.
Yeah.
But that will happen. But I
thing.
walked on the ride essentially. It was crazy.
Awesome.
So it ended up being worthwhile for all parties involved. But I was getting nervous because me and Kevin are always talking about how a lot of these after hours events are just photo ops, and it's like waiting hours for photo ops, and it's like I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, we got, like Back to the Future.
This just seemed fun, and I thought it would kill time, whatever.
Yeah,
but it ended up being fine.
It was totally fine.
But I know some people who did it on other busier nights that they were like, okay, here's your reward, and it was like a 90-minute wait,
and
it
it's
was
I got to go other places.
Yeah. Now I will say the biggest lines of the night were for One Piece.
Yeah.
That I saw at least, and that was just a photo op.
Yeah, that was to meet the characters.
Which, if that's your jam, cool.
Yeah.
I just can't put. Now there were photo ops in Back to the Future. That I thought of getting in line for, and I never do that. And what sold me, the one that I almost did, was there was the DeLorean in Doc's garage with the clocks everywhere.
Yeah.
But okay, that's cool. Whatever. They had a real life dog as Einstein with the stopwatch on his chest.
Yep.
And you could take a picture with the actual dog, and then every 5 minutes they switch out a dog
to give him a break.
To give that dog a break. It was like, oh, this is awesome.
Genius, because that puts somebody in the seat, because I surely don't want anybody sitting in the seat.
Right.
So they put a dog there to take a photo, and now you're just standing next to the car instead of everybody trying to sit in the seat. Trying to sit in the seat. And he's like, no, we can have Einstein there. And then it's just a cool photo op, and nobody can sit there.
And that was such a cool touch.
And we didn't do it, but that's a rare photo op. I get the fun behind that.
No,
and
sure.
It's like that is a cool shot. But it really is interesting because, like you said, maybe the longest line of the night was the One Piece character. So One Piece was part of the offerings of the night.
Right.
Yo, anime fans, we're gonna have One Piece stuff. We're gonna have Jujutsu Kaisen stuff.
Yeah.
The One Piece thing was just that. You could meet all the characters and take pictures with them. And yet that had probably the longest lines. And I would say most of the cosplay I saw that night was One Piece and stuff.
There was a lot of One Piecers at Back to the Future in Hill Valley.
So I've heard a lot of behind the scenes stuff about this event, and I'll share more of it in a second about other stuff. But I will say one of the things I heard for this was that behind the scenes there was a lot of argument over, we need anime in this event. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And Universal is like, no one's really done anime in the theme park.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you whatever? And that this event was proof. Hey, there is, and I'm telling you, just in the way right now, sorry, I'm dying all of a sudden. In the way that now we're starting to learn the value of video games in the theme park, like that Nintendo World. Come on,
right?
Yeah.
You're gonna start seeing the new generations are into different stuff. Anime is not the niche thing that it used to be. I would say over pandemic is where it finally rose to it's mainstream,
huge.
And I think you will see a much bigger offering next year for the anime related stuff.
As someone who's been on the record of not loving anime, I would not be surprised there was like an anime park, just like a park dedicated just to anime.
Yeah,
because
totally.
As from what I saw and what I've just seen in general, of just like I have kids in high school. All of their friends watch anime. Like everyone watches anime. Like that's just like a thing that has become huge. Yeah. So I think you're right. I think it will be.
They
a
had a
bigger
One
thing.
Piece like walkthrough thing that would kill.
It would kill.
Well, and I mentioned it on the Mega 64 podcast the other day, but apparently in Tokyo at one point they redid for some event, they reskinned the Waterworld show to be a One Piece show.
That would have been so cool.
That show was just sitting there unused this year. I guarantee you, count on it. Next year, that show will be running and it will be a one-piece pirate show, right? I mean, I think that's a done deal.
It's got to be.
All they have to do is bring over the assets they used overseas. That's it.
That
minimal work.
And again, that already exists, and they were doing nothing with it. Might as well.
Yeah. I think they needed proof that the anime fans would turn out, and this was just a meet and greet, and they showed up.
But Waterworld is not like a huge movie now, but people love the show because
the show is way better.
You
than
have
the
a
movie.
good show. I don't think people really care about the theme. So if you have a theme that people actually love, it's going to be like pandemonium.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
Yes.
So, that was... Anyway, I think you're going to see way more anime next year. I mean, I was saying earlier too, like, depending on what they picked, if there was I'm just going to say, as something as universal as like a Dragon Ball experience.
Yeah.
Oh, get out. If there was a walkthrough experience that was Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Where you go through like the capsule court lab and then out into some kind of, there's a battle going on around you or something. Oh, longest lines of the whole park. I really believe that. It would be, or a show or something. That would be unstoppable. They would be the biggest thing of the night. I really think. But anyway, so they had all that. But anyway, going back to the Nintendo thing, the Yoshi thing. So that's the only thing I would say was like, more signs, more organization. I heard about people who went late, and they were kind of not very forthcoming too about when certain things close. I guess the Mario Kart ride closed at 10.
Yeah, and the like Jurassic Park and other rides was at midnight. The whole thing was open till 2.
But which 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
crazy,
but like the last tram to Back to the Future was
12:30.
12:30.
Yeah.
And so it was
things were staggered.
Yeah.
And I was there. You guys left earlier than I did.
Yeah,
I was like, nah, stay until 2.
Closing
I'm
it
doing
out.
it. But I would say I was kind of there at 1 going, there's not much.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff's already closed, and
what's left?
and kind of running out of stuff to do.
Yeah, and so that's another criticism I would have is like, I don't know, let's do 2 or let's not. That felt weird to me that like 1 a.m. I saw a lot of people just sitting around because they kind of ran out of things.
Yeah, all the rides are closed by then, and and these things are wrapping up in the actual like FanFest nights.
But anyway, so the reason for bringing this up is I know some people who went and did the Yoshi thing, and got like, hey, I want to do the scavenger hunt at like 11:30, and they were given, okay, here you go, here's this. And then they're halfway through the scavenger hunt, and all right, Nintendo World's closed, thank you. And it's like, why did I? You handed me all this.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I heard a snake.
Yeah, it sounded like a snake.
But it's like, why didn't they say anything? I think I heard about this on another show. That they weren't told that it was closing, or they got the last medallion and then, okay, it's closed. It's like, why did I do all this? I can't go in and meet the, there was just a lot of misinformation and confusion.
And a lot of this information you can't find outside, like before you get to the part. It's
the app had no info.
It's not like stuff online. There's no info of when things are closing and stuff. Just it's from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. and it's like, that's it.
I had to ask people at the gates and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just weird. That was weird. We got to take a picture with Yoshi. Okay, it was fun. Yoshi copied my pose.
Yes, I thought that was cool.
And then I posted that online, and it's doing preemptively, I'll say, fire and ash numbers.
Wow.
It's doing real good. So I guess I have to say it was a good experience because they gave me a banger post.
Yes.
I didn't even have to add any text. Yoshi copied my pose, and I got social media clout now.
Nice.
So, I'll take it. And you were in like a Yoshi themed area. That was cool. That was well done. It was just a little more organization, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, again, you guys left kind of after 12:30.
Yeah, it was like about 12:30 when we got like back to the car.
I wanted to eat, so I was like, we had. By the way, we should talk about that.
Oh yeah, some food.
We got a couple snacks in the Back to the Future area.
Yeah.
They had basic stuff. They had pretzels, popcorn, stuff like that. They did have a Back to the Future themed cookie.
Yeah, how was that? Because I didn't get that.
It was both stupid and good.
Okay.
Like the cookie was made to look like pavement.
Yeah.
With streaks of fire and an edible
license plate.
License plate.
Yeah.
And it was also the whole thing was glittery, which I'm like, am I eating glitter?
I don't
What's
know.
going on?
Well, it's edible glitter, but like I don't know why there was glitter involved with the top of that.
Make it look more magical.
Yeah, I guess.
So the icing on it was thick and hard. Like it was like kind of like shitty cookie icing, but the cookie was it was almost like a thick kind of not. I don't know if it was chocolate chip. It had chunks of something in it. Chunks in it.
That sounds good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. For a novelty cookie. It was one of the better ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm hungry and I'm stuck down here in 1955. Give me a pretzel.
Yeah.
Yo, another thing that I'm sorry, Disney, you showed your ass.
Oh.
The Mickey pretzel and got shit on the Universal 1955 Hill Valley pretzel. That was like the most buttery, good ass pretzel.
It was fresh out the oven.
Dude, and I was like, oh, they don't have the cheese to dip it in? Well, yeah, the Disney one needs the cheese because it's a shit pretzel. Yeah. And you got to dip it in that fake cheese to make it good. This one was so buttery and good. I didn't even care about the cheese.
I got a pretzel too, but I got the cinnamon sugar pretzel. It was so good. I dropped it immediately.
Yeah, you did.
You guys, you have no idea.
I took like one bite and then dropped the whole thing on the ground.
This is really, oh no.
This is so good. But they were super cool. I just walked up and I was like, hey, I literally just got this and I dropped it. And they're like, yeah, just toss it in the trash and I'll make you another one. And they made me another one real quick.
Awesome.
Yeah. And they were super cool about it.
The part that he didn't pick up,
you did.
I am ashamed to say I did eat it.
But how was second roll? Was that good? Sean?
I said it's 55-second roll. What's that?
How was the cinnamon sugar pretzel?
It was great. It was really, really good.
Can I just say,
time doesn't matter.
I think my most embarrassing moment, maybe in my or not embarrassing, most shameful moment in my life was I remember at PAX meeting up with some people and we walked like a mile to get what I heard was the best Seattle dog, and then there was a long line. And then it was like the whole night to get this dog, and then I immediately dropped it and picked that fucker up and ate. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm eating this shit.
I'm getting this. Yeah.
I give a fuck. I'm gravel. Don't care. I don't give a fuck. I was like, kill me. This is how I die. Fuck it.
Yeah. Doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
That's true. So I've been there. Anyway,
so the food down there was snacky but good.
It was fine. Yeah, it was good.
I enjoyed it.
But I do want to say real quick about customer service. They took care of your pretzel real quick.
100%. No questions.
This event, you could pay way more and get an express pass where you cut the line of every ride and walk through and whatever. You could not cut the photo op lines.
What?
It should have let you do that because there was no value to that express.
No.
Everything in this event was walk on.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's because we went on Thursday.
I heard the other nights it never got more than like 10 to 15.
Oh,
mostly.
Shoot.
Yeah. And people who bought express were like, there was no need for me to get that.
How much was the express? How much more?
Here's a good amount.
At least, I want to say at least another 70.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that.
At least that.
Oh, no.
And it's funny because just a message.
My watch has been talking to me all day. I apologize.
I would turn that setting off.
Yeah.
I don't like the it hears you thing because I feel like sometimes you say like potato and it will still go. I found some web result. It's like I didn't even say the S word. Anyway, but just a minute ago, I've been posting stuff from the event, and I got a message a minute ago. Shout out Jennifer, who I think she was bummed she got Express Pass and found no value in it.
Oh.
I know. I heard about other people who did this. And all they did was walked up to the office. Hey, there was no need for this, and they didn't even fuss. They
okay, here you go.
Here's cash.
Refund.
Here's
Whoa.
That they didn't even fuss
because you can buy it before you even go. So you show up and there's no lines for anything.
Yeah.
Why did I pay this extra money?
And yeah, that's unfortunate because I know people who did this that just ate that cost. Like, damn, that was useless. And other people who just brought it back. Yeah, and they would give you your money back, no question.
That's cool.
So. The customer service game was on point.
Yes,
to be fair.
They were definitely on point.
But anyway, back to the food. Yeah, you guys left, and I was like, I didn't have a real meal today. I had the pretzel. That's it. You know what? It's 1 a.m. I want some diner food.
Yeah,
give me a melt or some shit. And they had in Mel's Diner, they had a Back to the Future.
Yeah, all the Back to the Future got put there in Mel's Diner, obviously, because it's a 50s diner.
They had like fucking flux capacitor patty melt.
Ooh.
They had 88 miles an hour pastrami melt.
Yes.
Which one did I get?
I would say the pastrami melt.
Both of them.
Oh,
I got both of them.
I didn't guess that.
I'm gonna get a little nitpicky here too. It was getting late at night, so I understand some employees are getting pretty done, but kind of bad experience going there. It was like the main thing I wanted was, they have Doc Brown's chicken pot pie. I'm like, this is referencing the old Doc Brown's chicken that used to be in the park. Yeah, I want that. And it's like Cheeto dusted.
Which I think we all went to because when we saw Queens of the Stone Age, that restaurant was still there.
Oh,
it was like the final days.
Yeah, and we were laughing so hard because there was a bunch of photos of Doc Brown with his chicken in different time periods. So he's like in front of the pyramids showing off his like, chicken drumsticks.
That was 12 years ago. Can you believe how long ago?
I know.
Wow.
But anyway, got there. Oh, yeah, we don't have the chicken pot pie. Oh, you don't? Okay. Yeah, I'm still like seeing them. Okay. Maybe we just missed it. Okay. Okay, then I got the 2 patty melts, and then I'm like, all right. And then it's been a long night. Can I just get a cup for water? We actually don't do cups for water. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something about myself, and I'm not saying this is good or bad.
Okay.
When a place denies me a cup for water,
For tap water.
That's standard.
My manners are extinct. I'm like, no, we need water.
Yeah.
You have like 80 Coke Freestyle machines, all with the water button, and I'm looking at them right now. You don't just have a thing. We actually don't do that here. They did do that there. They I don't know why that employee was dismissed, but yeah, it was it was like, okay, thank you. Saw all the clear cups behind another counter, just reached behind.
Yeah, because you can always tell a water cup because they look different. They're just clear. They're clear cups.
Yeah, it was like, oh, okay, and it was like, I knew that she was lying, and she knew that she had been caught, so she got real quiet at that point. I was like, yeah, I'll just take the melt. I started talking Clint Eastwood stuff. I'll just take the melt.
Where's your manager?
All right, yeah, I'll take that. Thanks. And she was like, yeah, no, it's okay. And I took it and reached behind the counter at another counter, got the 2
cups.
took the water cups and just filled
the water.
I'm like, don't worry, I got it. I saw another guy just handing them to the people who asked. It was like, why are you?
You can't have a restaurant without providing a
water cup. Yeah.
So yeah, that was dumb. I don't know why. Everything I asked for in that place, they just kept dismissing it. I think they were tired of working or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. So anyway, whatever. The melts were fine. They were good. Yeah. The pastrami melt was good.
Okay.
It was good.
That's good.
All that was fine. What I tried to get before that was I kept hearing the food in the Harry Potter area was nice or something. Like they had a meat pie that was good. I guess there was just a standalone meat pie you could get at some cart. I never found it.
And again, there's no info about
There's
that.
no
Yeah.
way to
Like
find
the
that.
app doesn't have any. Where do you find this food item?
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
There was nothing there. So I went into the 3 Broomsticks restaurant, like, oh, can I get the meat pie? Sure. And I guess a butterbeer and that's it. And they were like, no. And then they were like, no, you have to pick 3 more things. What? Yeah, because this restaurant is doing a special a prefix menu. And it's a food experience. It's $50 and it's a whole multi-course that. No, I just wanted the pie.
Yeah. They should have just told you where to get it at that point. Hey,
and this is what I mean.
Just
like,
want
no
the pie, go to this.
Everyone was
here.
kind of like not sure of the next thing.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, that prefix menu thing at the 3 Broomsticks, from what I've heard, it was awesome.
Really?
That they were like, yo, this is one of the best theme park meals I've ever had. I heard that across the board. But I didn't know about it. Maybe I would have done it if I knew about it.
I had never heard about that leading up to this.
$50 for a 5-course thing at a theme park sounds like a pretty good deal.
It was the meat pie, butterbeer, a dessert, a this, a that, whatever. And I heard it was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Didn't do it. I'm like, no, I've been a lifelong fuck Harry Potter guy, and I was like, I'm renewing my stance on this. So I, whatever, got out of there. But speaking of things I didn't know about, when we were in the lower lot in front of the mummy thing, there was a thing you could scan that was like, get your medallion here.
It's like this spinning question mark.
Oh, yeah.
And you could, again, this is a thing that I don't really hear a lot about. You could scan it and get a cyber medallion for the mummy in the app. I only saw that one. But apparently they had these all over the park. Oh, scan this one and get a little medallion. Scan this one and get a little medallion. this breaks my heart. If you did them all, they actually gave you a physical like a physical medallion
for the event.
Yeah. That was like for the event, like commemorating the thing. And it's like, maybe I wanted to do that. I was there late and running out of things to do. I would have done that if I knew about it,
Right.
So again, lots of little things in between the cracks that are like, why was that like that? The other things I'll bring up is like, they kept hyping up, there's a band. We've got a band, the Flux Capacitors. They're going to play in the main square on the upper lot. Like they're going to play there.
Yeah.
And they played, their last show was at 11. So again, like hours. I saw people at 1 a.m. all like sitting around in that plaza, not doing anything. The band should still be playing.
Yeah.
Or another band plays.
Yeah.
Why is there no band here? And then they had like a live DJ by the Jurassic Park thing. No one was paying attention to that.
That was bad.
Yeah, that nobody was in front of that.
That was all like, no one cared about this. So there was a few things that were just like, again, it was a first year event.
Yeah. Maybe they'll fix it for
out.
next year.
Exactly.
Kevin and I did see that band play.
Yeah.
And that was actually pretty sick.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because
they started out.
They started with the Universal theme.
Yeah.
But they just played the theme.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was like, I never thought I'd see this theme played live.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
I know.
But that's what I mean. It's like, go later. Like, it's open till 2 a.m., but so many offerings are done at like 10, 11, 12. So got the food. And then I was like, you know what? I thought it was kind of cool for Jujutsu Kaisen. They imported an attraction from Universal Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anything.
show.
I don't know anything about Jujutsu Kaisen at all.
I don't either.
I've seen it around. There's a character named Itadori or something. There's a character. Okay. Like I've seen them generally, but I don't know anything about it. And I was like, you know what, though? It's kind of neat. They brought something over from Japan. I'll check it out. Mm-hmm. It was a 4D movie in the theater that used to be, rest in peace, Shrek.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Shrek 4D, rest in peace. They used to wet fart on you.
Yeah.
It was a movie in there, and it was 4D in the sense that your seats did move.
Yes.
Like, you're getting rocked. You're getting knocked around and vibrated. But they didn't bring the 3D over. And it was clearly meant to be 3D glasses.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they?
And they didn't. And so, going in, I'm like, who cares? But then you're watching the movie and it was like, these guys out here think they're tough. What do they think of what if they get thrown? What if they got a rock thrown at them?
Whoa.
And you're sitting there like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, dodge this. Like, yeah, okay. And it's just, and then like a thing comes out and it's just floating there. Yeah. Is there an effect here? No? Okay. So I don't know. It was kind of like, why didn't you just do the whole thing? Like, you almost had it.
Yeah.
Why didn't you add the 3D? But it was, if you're a fan of that, it was probably pretty neat. The lobby was done up. They had like weapons from it, and they played it.
Okay.
It was probably pretty cool if you're a fan of it. I wasn't, so it was kind of like, all right. But would have been cool if I knew that show. Again, if they did like a Dragon Ball thing or something.
That'd be cool.
Oh, it would have been like, like a 340 thing, would have been cool. But there were, again, the fans came out. That theater was pretty packed at 1 a.m., know?
Yeah.
What time did you leave?
About not quite 2. It was like 1:40.
Oh, okay.
It was just like, and I liked the event enough. I want to show support enough. I was like, they have like a hoodie for the event with a bunch of artwork on it. I'll go get that. And it was like small and mediums. Oh, okay. They have a car. Oh, but they have a place that sells just merch for this event. Oh, okay. Yeah, but it closed early.
Why would they close that early?
Okay. Well, I would have given you money.
Yeah.
Okay. It was just there were a lot of things like that were just like, let's figure that out.
Yeah.
But that's my only complaint.
Well, I mean, I think the fact that like on its the skeleton of this is amazing.
Yes.
You just got to figure out a couple things.
Little things to fix, tighten up.
And then it will be a great event.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And for the first year and a cost that was not breaking the bank.
Oh, it was so so cheap comparatively.
I can't say enough how much they did a great job.
My fear is that they are going to charge more next time.
I don't see how they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right?
They're going to be like, okay, 130 or whatever.
Yeah. But make it better and that might be worth it.
Maybe.
But again, as is, I don't think they should have charged more than what they did.
I thought that was great. I think it was everyone was happy, which is smart charging that much because everyone's just going to leave happy regardless of what
everyone was stoked on it.
Yeah, everyone had a great time.
And I think they have to know that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what we're going for this first year is stoke.
Yep.
You know, like
word of mouth.
Let people leave feeling like they had the best night.
Yes.
As opposed to, damn, that was expensive, but I guess it was fun.
And
and
a lot of people went multiple nights. They would just buy it again or buy the pass to let you go multiple nights, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The thing with the set too, like Back to the Future is great, but they have so many sets that they could theoretically do other shows that maybe like we don't care about, but they could do a Desperate Housewives thing.
Yeah. Dude.
And you could do The Good Place.
If they did the Burbs walkthrough, like just that street, but it's fucking a Tom Hanks impersonator.
Yeah.
A fucking I would love that.
Yeah. So I think that like Back to the Future is probably their biggest property.
Yeah.
And that makes the most sense to do.
I want a Back to the Future thing. And I'm sorry, got that. A Jurassic Park thing.
Oh.
I want Jurassic Park so bad in the immersion sort of experience. Oh, that would be so cool. Much fun.
That seems like a no-brainer. I mean, that's like their other biggest franchise.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park. They need to do something with that. Build a giant animatronic T-Rex or something, and everyone has to hey, don't move. Like you're in here, don't move.
Yep.
And that thing's looking you up and
build a
down.
walkthrough experience.
They have to do something where you enter into Jurassic Park. They have to do that. Other things that they own that they could do. You know, they've done Ghostbusters stuff.
Yes.
That would be
extremely They had to walk through
cool.
Horror Nights for that.
You know, license some. You know,
but what things could they do that they have the set for?
I already know.
Psycho.
Yes.
I would be there.
Check into the motel.
Yep.
Go into the motel. Like they actually fill up the motel. Yeah. So, your party needs a room. Yeah. And you book into the room, and something happens in there.
Yep.
You know, they ask you about your own mother. You know, like what's
the deal with your mom?
Yeah. That would be cool.
Do War of the Worlds? They can just have tons of people like, I'm all fucked up.
I'm all messed up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually really curious. One,
what
if it comes
next year
back,
look like?
But two, if they do it again, what will be the? Because I don't think it's gonna be the same lineup. I think things will have changed.
I think they're gonna bring Back to the Future. I think that's gonna be a standard.
Oh, yeah. So, I said this when we were there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this right now. Hear me now. Respect me later.
Okay.
I'm telling you, this is the game plan. This is what they should do. Okay. You did Back to the Future. You did it. 1955. Very impressive. What do you do next year? Back to the Future Part 2.
Yep.
And you do it in the same area, but it's 2015.
Oh, and it's hoverboards.
And it's hoverboards.
Jaws 3D.
And you can eat in the 80s cafe.
Oh.
Right? Wouldn't you pay top dollar to have a meal in the 80s cafe and pay for a Pepsi Perfect in that bottle?
Little Elijah Wood playing the video games.
Yeah. You got to use your hands.
Yeah. Little kid Elijah Wood.
Just hire real Elijah Wood.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still here. You know, but have it be 2015.
Yeah.
And then what do you do the next year? Back to the Future 3. And you don't go to the town square. You go, or the courthouse square. You go to the Western set that they have at Universal.
They sell wake-up juice.
But they have, what do they have there? A gigantic clock you can take a picture in front of.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So cool.
Buy a Frisbee pie.
Oh!
Yep. Far out.
We're doing a shoot like that. 7-Eleven.
And there's horses. There could be dudes riding around on horses. By the way, I want to something that we missed out on that I heard because I brought this up to somebody. That we got this when we went. Someone said if you really hung around Principal Strickland, he would give you a detention.
That's cool.
Right, you're
detention.
a slacker, just like Marty McFly.
Here's your detention,
just like McFly.
It was so funny to see him at the concert. He just walked around like,
I know they're
music, and he was complaining.
I hate it.
It was awesome. It was so much fun.
So good.
So good.
Real quick, I just want to say, so the things that I heard about behind the scenes, I heard that they were just trying to, you heard it too, like they were just trying to sell people on the concept of this. Let the marketing be the good word of mouth, things like that. I heard there were lots of things that got cut. That fire strip area was really cool.
Yeah.
It should have, I heard that there were plans maybe to have it timed to where it only
happens at the end of the
it only lights up,
or it just goes dark for that part and then lights up. Whatever. That didn't happen. I heard rumors that they wanted to actually do more of a stunt show where like a guy is tied up there as Doc Brown.
That would have been cool.
You know, and I heard like last minute they just did they just projected it.
Yeah.
You know, which it worked. It was fine, but if they did a more advanced stunt thing, could have been cool.
That would have been really cool.
I heard there were lots of things cut at the last minute because they just weren't sure how this is going to go. But I hope now it's proven. Yo, you can do this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
So yeah. I think next year you're going to see a little more money put into that part and a little more anime stuff.
Yeah.
And aside from that, if they did a Lord of the Rings thing, I think that people would come out.
I think they would.
Yeah.
I think they would.
Anyway, is there any stone left unturned from this?
No, but I want to say thank you for inviting me to the night.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And on the show. I'm first time on the show. So I'm
it was
happy
good.
to be on
Creepy Old Crypt.
First time on Creepy Old Crypt.
You should be on another. I don't know what else you could talk about. What other theme park stuff
I could talk about the 50th anniversary of Disneyland when they did that in 2005. I was there like every day.
Yeah.
That I have the ears that they gave to you only if they saw you doing something good. Like you couldn't buy these ears. These are like the special.
Really?
You don't have these?
No.
I don't remember
you
this.
guys. Okay.
Let
me school you real quick. If someone in the park saw you do something like a good deed, like pick up trash or whatever, and you created a magical moment or something like that.
Yeah, magic moment.
Yeah. Well, they would give you a Mickey
ears?
Mouse ears. You could only get this if they gave it to you. You couldn't buy it.
Really?
And it's this is the 50th anniversary on it, but then it has like a cloud pattern and silver ears.
That's cool.
And I do have those. So I am pretty cool. Thank you.
I think we're going to say this all publicly, and you're going to find out that they never did that. It was just an employee that liked you.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's like at Joanne Fabric that one time.
Oh, yeah.
Now
We got good deals on fabric because an employee was into Shawn.
Well,
that was a legendary moment back then.
Sometimes these looks pay off for me. Other times it's a curse.
It's kind of like, oh, so what are you making? Oh, you're making a little pattern here.
Yep. Yeah.
Every
now and then.
Anyway, but yeah, cool. Well, anyway, had a great time at the event.
Yep. 10 out of 10.
So much fun.
Yeah, so much fun. I can't wait to hear about it next time. Oh, and this was originally planned for Florida, but they made Epic Universe the new park, and they were like, don't get in the way of that.
That makes sense.
But it fits so much better
here.
Yeah,
it did. It really did.
It was made for this. It was.
But if they do a Florida version, I wonder what they have a lot more room.
Oh, there's so much room.
I wonder how different it would be, or what they would have that we.
I don't know. I mean, if it's big enough, they might do it at both.
Reopen Nickelodeon Studios. I dare you.
I know.
I double dare you.
Wouldn't that be sick though? If part of it is like we just made Nickelodeon Studios, and you go.
Here's the slime fountain.
It's like Double Dare in there.
Disney's already doubling down on '90s Disney stuff because that is so huge.
Seems to be doing well for them.
It's doing really well with them with like Goofy movie and stuff. That I think if they doubled down on Nickelodeon
I think you're right.
in Florida, that would be so sick.
I think you're right.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see. Well, anyway, that's our take on the night. We had a blast.
So much fun.
Hope they do it again. Let us know what you want to see on the next Creepy Old Crypt. Though I think, we talked about it on the last one, the Adventureland episode, but I think people want to see that as suggested months ago by our friend Jared.
Yes.
The Bulldoze It episode.
Yep.
An episode in which we rank the things in which, we always talk about what we love at theme parks. What thing could, just bulldoze this?
Oh, I like that.
I think that might be our next episode. What is the thing? Do you have anything off the top of your head right now at a theme park? Just
Disneyland,
bulldoze this.
Get rid of this at Disneyland.
Castle.
You could. I feel like it's such a waste of space having that people mover
track.
Either do something with it or get rid of it because I'm tired of looking at it. Like it does nothing. It's just a closed down ride.
I believe the term is shit or get off the pot.
It's one of those. Right? What is in that spinny building now? Is there anything?
Jack shit.
Yeah.
Oh no. There's a lounge for Disney Vacation Club members.
Yeah.
Get rid of that. That is prime real estate. You could do like a dark ride, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Get rid of that.
You know what I wish they would do? Just put the Carousel of Progress back in there.
And then the people mover can go back too.
Yeah,
That's a
put it
good.
all
That was a
back.
good ride. Rocket rods. I rode that.
I didn't ride that.
It was bad.
I'm bummed.
I will tell you. You say you're bummed. My whole 8th grade field trip to Disneyland
was in line for that.
wasted on rocket rods. Although,
oh yeah,
that was my one chance to ever do it.
Yeah.
And I did it. So
And
that's good.
you
did
But
it.
my
gone.
And you
whole
say that?
day.
It's gone
was
forever
that.
now.
But it was, whoa. Oh, okay, slow turn on. What? Okay, stop.
Yep.
Turn around. It's like, this sucks. It
sucked, but I would like to have ridden it.
Are there other things like that are like one attraction like wasted your whole day? Because the only time I could think of, I still had a great day, don't get me wrong, but there was 1 year game days. I want to say maybe 2018 or something like that, where we did our game days event where we go on a bunch of stuff with our viewers. But there was 1 year that we started with Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Yeah.
And it was like,
took
this
forever.
was like we have to go.
Oh, that's
like
right.
we're gonna we have a meetup at the castle in hours.
Yeah.
It just took so long. It was like the first half of the day we lost.
Yeah, it was,
like, because that
bad.
ride took
Yeah.
so long. That was the only thing I could think back to.
The
Like,
only thing,
shouldn't have done that.
I think you were there, but you weren't with us. We were I think 3 separate groups, and we all got in line for. Well, I think we got in line for the at Knott's for the Ghost Rider, and we were there all day. And you were off doing something else, and I think Garrett and like Trish were on another, and we like never saw each other at any point that day.
Because I'm thinking back, that day wasn't that bad. Oh yeah, I went and did other stuff.
Yep.
You didn't.
Wow.
Yep,
You were trapped.
I was trapped.
Anyway, that was just the thought that popped up. I wanted
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So maybe that'll be the next episode. Bulldoze it.
Yeah.
Bulldoze
So
it.
let us know if you want to see that, and if you don't, leave a comment saying I don't want to see that, and say
they
what you do
wanna
want to
see
see.
I don't want to see
that.
that.
I know.
I don't want to hear that. All right. Thanks. Another creepy old crypt is in the can. Oh, we did an official shirt,
Yes.
but it's gone.
Yeah, it's not up.
So
there
if you didn't
anymore.
pre-order it,
So you missed
it's gone.
it.
But we'll let everyone know if we have extras.
Just use your time rover to get.
You're gonna have to go. It ain't 8 miles an hour to go back 2 weeks ago when it was up for pre-order.
Do you guys have a good sign off? What's your sign off in the show?
It's usually Rocco gets up with the camera and walks
Oh.
off and films. Something
Yeah,
else.
film something peaceful.
Jack White always said like, you guys have been amazing, and I've been Jack White, and it's like, oh hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
We should. You guys just something like that. Like, you've been creepy, and we've been the crypt. Later.
Well, thanks for joining us at the crypt. You've all been creepy.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good one.
I like that.
Yep.
Use that for now
Should
on.
have ended on that.
Oh.
Shit.